Hey guys, it's Granis, coming back again with some more One Punch Man Road to Hero. Got really lucky today with some gacha. Just used 3 tokens, and well, you'll see here in just a second. Finally got my next tornado, so that should bring ours up to Mythic Plus. Which is really exciting. Maybe we can make it a little bit further into the story now. I've been stuck on 15-16 for like a week. Honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna get past it without spending a bunch of money, but I'm trying to cap it out. I've spent like $125 on it, so I don't really want to spend any more. So hopefully we can make it past a couple levels at least. So beat Treasure Land, just wanted to kind of show you guys my strategy that I used for beating it. I'm using the Terrible Tornado. She's going to be my main damage dealer. She really clears half the stages by herself. You'll also notice you can restart these guys. You just cancel them or challenge them again. You don't have to finish it all the way through, so if you lose a couple of your good characters or your good heroes, just restart it, switch them around. You can probably figure out a way to keep some of them alive. But on these first rounds, I used some of my kind of throwaway guys just to absorb some damage. You can see we lost Tank Top and that Jerry guy. So not a lot of good cards available. I would recommend always going for anything that does critical chance or critical percentage increase. I mainly use psychic characters or heroes, so there's a card that gives you a certain percentage of critical damage for each psychic hero. So you can use that in your favor if you have a bunch of psychics. That's probably the only way that I was able to make it through here. Like I said, I don't have crazy high characters, but that it's just that tornado that I've got that really saves us most of the time. With her ult, she can typically one-shot the entire team. And also you'll notice that whenever I kind of do it in phases. You always want to have your kind of your ultimate power on auto, or not on auto. You want to be selecting those individually. You'll see kind of during most of my gameplays or most of my battles here is that I'm either using just the Terrible Tornado ult to pretty much team wipe the other team, like right here you can see it. And when I don't have the Terrible Tornado ult, I pretty much use everybody else's, just trying to make the battle as short as possible, because the rest of my team can't really take a lot of hits. So once you get kind of to here, you'll notice this arrow. You have to point all of the arrows towards that center island. Pretty self-explanatory, but you just got to make sure you do all that. So I guess I'll just start clearing through a lot of this. I'll keep them all up here so you can see what each team is and how I beat it, what my setup was, if you have anything similar. And I'll just chime in every now and then if I think of any tips that go along with what I'm doing. So I guess just sit back and relax, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm sure I'll be back in here in just a second. Yeah, so you'll notice I'm putting a bunch of my psychic heroes in just to increase that critical damage, which works really well. Only lost the Jerry on that one. Got pretty close, really, to losing that tornado, which would have been terrible. And then for this one, I'll probably go with attack 20%, just because that'll help everybody long term. And then out of that first chest, we get 500 diamonds, so, you know, nothing crazy, but yeah, at least it's something. All right, so I'll let this thing roll off again, and then I'll probably pop in here in a little bit. Another quick tip here, you'll notice I didn't do that boss fight, just because you want to try to do as many of the low level fights as possible, just to kind of stack up those supply cards for you when you do actually do the boss fights. So always do the lower level guys first, even if it's out of the way. So I tried to go ahead and do this boss fight. I'll play a couple of them, but I wasn't able to really get everybody down enough. And this metal bat just kept screwing me over. A lot of times with metal bat, he's a tough one to go up against. A lot of times you'll just have to put like a mosquito girl up against him, or anyone that can silence, just because he's gonna be alive long enough to use his ult, and he's gonna pretty much wipe out an entire stack of your team. So you're gonna need to silence him pretty much right off the bat in order to make it past. But yeah, so I didn't even end up finishing this attempt. I really wanted to keep Mosquito Girl. So you'll notice I actually take a little break and go finish off some more of these lower level guys. All right, so just gonna take on this kind of a lower level boss here. You'll notice I'm trying to get the Genos buff on Slug and Tornado, just so Slug can get his ult, and then I can use that to buff Tornado. Really just trying to go for kind of a one shot here. So I'll just keep restarting the match till we get that RNG. Looks like this is it, and see for yourself. I mean, I think we're trying to just wipe them all out so we don't have to lose anybody. This is the same thing you have to do on story mode, pretty much just restarting over and over until you get the crits that you want. It's all RNG based, as you saw there. Yeah, and then once you unlock all the arrows, just point them all towards that island, and then go click on the little obelisk, and it'll open up that bridge for us. Gonna just clear out the rest of this island, finish that final boss out here, and then we'll go towards the center. And here's a little pro tip for you. If you ever need to walk from one side of the map to the other, instead of waiting for 30 minutes for it to happen, you can just back out and then rejoin in, and you'll be located where you tapped without having to walk for forever. Yeah, and just wanted to point out that that box gave you 10 recruit tokens to use. So this is a pretty good round just to talk about the difference between your team comp. I couldn't beat this without losing anybody, so I actually replaced eyelashes with a level 1 seaweed girl just to increase the critical chance or critical damage for my psychic characters, and it worked out, you know, really well. You'll see here, I think. Just by changing that one person out, we were able to one-shot everybody just with massive crits. So that's why I do that. And so that's pretty much it. You know, we've built up enough supply cards to make us pretty overpowered. So these last few boss fights are actually pretty easy, easier than the first rounds we were going up against. So yeah, I'll just let this play out. We can look at the rewards, and you can just see my team comp still, and just what you'll be going up against, just so you're ready whenever you get there. So if you're still here and you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post pretty regularly, and leave a comment with any tips or questions, anything like that. I'm usually pretty good about getting back to you with those. And I'll just let the rest of the video play out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.